Welcome back. Welcome to episode 4. This week we're going to talk about personal brand. Now, personal brand's very interesting because I've been talking about this for years. And poor old personal brand, it does have a bit of a bad rep. When I say it to particularly my female clients and particularly my British female clients, I say the words personal brand and they kind of go, oh God, I know I need to do it, but the idea of thinking of myself as some kind of product or service that I have to sell or market around the organisation or out to the outside world, it just makes me cringe. It just feels an absolute cringe. It feels arrogant and boasty and just can't do it. So, and I get it, totally get that. What I would say is that over the years, I've seen a lot of people do it and do it really, really well to the point that it's a real game changer. It's totally transformational, and that's not exaggerating. So once you get your head around it and you embrace it and start to see the benefits of it, it's a good thing. Take it from me, it is a good thing. What is interesting about personal brand as well is that it doesn't it doesn't stop. It keeps on throughout your whole career. It'll keep changing and morphing and developing as you change and develop as an individual. And it was interesting because a friend of mine came round the other day and we were sitting in the garden, and he'd done a contract for a company for about 18 months or so. And he's in his late 40s, right? So been around a bit. And he said to me, the mistake I made was that I didn't get my brand across to the right people quickly enough, because a few people got made redundant. And he thought, I just didn't make that positive impression with the right people, in the right time. Should have done it quicker. And I just thought, very interesting. It's not something that's just relevant at the beginning of your career. It's something that, as I say, will stay with you. So what is it and why is it important? Personal brand is essentially what it is about you that's different from others. If you want to use the USP, your unique selling point, but it's unique selling points, plural. So it is what I call your basket of goodies or your assets. So those are things that God gave you, all right? So things that you are naturally good at, your natural strengths, talents and abilities. They are the skills that you've amassed along the way. So you will have gained skills in your career. They are the experiences that you've had, both your personal and your professional experiences. And they are your values. And this whole sort of basket, as I say, basket of goodies really comes together to define you as an individual person and therefore different from other people. The second element is understanding, once you've understood yourself more, is understanding who it is that, let's not beat about the bush, who it is you need to impress, right? And I call these your audiences. Now, audiences could be one person. So it could be your boss. It could be your boss's boss. It could be a team of people, senior leadership team, a board, a committee. You need to identify who your audiences are. Some people call them stakeholders, same sort of thing. It's the people that hold the purse strings. It's the people that are going to decide whether you get promoted and how much your pay rise is going to be. So you need to identify who those people are throughout the organisation that you're working for. So that's really the two aspects that we need to concern ourselves first. And if we are thinking about why is personal brand valuable, my God, I can't think of anything more important than in an interview where either you're going for a new job, new company, or you're interviewing within your existing organisation for a promotion or a bigger remit. It is vital that you are crystal clear what value you bring to the team, to the role, to the organisation. Why are you different from the next person they are going to interview? And if you're not crystal clear about that, then the people or person who's interviewing you is not going to be clear. Interview, massive example of where personal brand comes into play. The other thing I've heard over the years, a lot of clients have come to me and said, particularly after an appraisal, I've said, what happened in your appraisal? They've said, they've told me I need to build my profile. And they sort of look at me quizzically. I'm like, okay, what does build your profile mean? It could be building your profile within the organisation, i.e., no one knows who the hell you are. No one knows what great work you're doing. You've got your head down and you're just cracking on with it, but actually there are people around the organisation who need to know who you are. Or it could be your external profile. People in the industry need to know who you are. You need to build a network. So profile can be internal or external. The first thing you need to be aware of is actually getting out those assets, those basket of goodies, your strengths, natural talents and abilities, skills, values, experiences. And then think about, right, who are the people I need to impress? Let's be blunt. Then it's a case of how. So what opportunities are available to you to actually get yourself in front of the right people? Now, within an organisation, there will be communication situations, right? Team calls once a week, once a month, quarterly. Team meetings, team calls. There'll be offsites. There'll be all manner of occasions where people come together. There will be senior leadership team calls, committee meetings. You need to think about, how can I get in front of those people? How can I actually get into those sorts of meetings, get onto those calls? Now, it might be that you think about, okay, do I update people on something? Do I educate them on something? Do I inform them? Do I share? So think about the work that you're doing. Would it be beneficial if you were to share some of the work that you were doing with another team or another organisation, or just thinking a little creatively about what could I do? And actually sometimes it's about creating an opportunity that doesn't exist. So it might be just picking up the phone, talking to another team member or another team and saying, would it be helpful if we talked to you about what we did the other day for this client? Because I think there are some really useful lessons that we learned that we could share with you. It's about being proactive. Okay. Now, this is one word. If someone would say to me, what is one word that young women particularly need to really embrace more? It is being more proactive, making things happen, creating opportunities that currently don't exist. In order to get your brand across to the right people, you might have to create an opportunity. It is about getting more exposure. And there will be, in most organisations, committees or what I call extracurricular type activities going on. It may be there's a social committee. It may be that there's a diversity and inclusion, D&I committee, where different people from different parts of the business come together and do something. Can you volunteer? Can you, if public speaking doesn't scare the holy shit out of you, volunteer to do a panel, do a talk, do a conference speech? If you've got to raise your profile within the industry, where are the forums that you could look at that you could do that? It's a very, very interesting subject. It will be with you for your career, and there's quite a lot involved. Now, I'm running some career progression masterclasses, and this personal brand is going to be part of those masterclasses, and we'll drill into this stuff that I've talked about today a lot deeper and actually get you to really unpack it and think about how you go through that process. of getting your brand to the right people. So look out for that. That'll be on the website. That's www.sassygodmother.com. Also, like and subscribe to my YouTube and check me out on Instagram at @sassygodmother. If you've got any questions or concerns or examples that you want to put in the comments, that would be great too. But do look out for the masterclasses, because we're going to be going into all this stuff in a lot more detail. I look forward to next time.